Welcome back, everybody. Join me today as I throw this mountain of blue pearl at a replacement quarter fender. Let's get to it. The paint I'm spraying today is Imron. It's a transportation paint. It's designed for commercial trucks, commercial vehicles. Pretty much any heavy-duty truck you see on the road in North America is sprayed with Imron if it's 2018 or newer. This particular part actually was sprayed originally in PPG. However, there was a crossover code in my system, and you can see the spray out card on the wall at some point here. I did do a spray out to make sure this PPG crossover code to Imron was a good match. So for you automotive guys, things are a little different in the heavy duty world. I can't just plug in a code into my paint system and expect something to come up. I need to cross-reference search if it isn't an Imron code, because pretty much everything in the heavy duty world is sprayed either PPG or Imron, and they're not really interchangeable. There are crossover codes, but there's generally a lot of tinting. In this case, I didn't have to tint. My spray out looked good, so we're good to go. So Imron here, I'm spraying it out of my SATA 5500 RP. It's a 1.30 pattern tip, and I'm spraying it about 33 to 34 psi. And it's applied in a cross coat technique. It's a coat and a half application, so you can see I'm doing my initial coat here in one direction, and as soon as I finish that coat, I'm going to come back the other direction. Now you'll notice I am doing a full wet coat. I am getting pretty much full coverage on my first coat here. Although there may be, it's hard to see in a dark color like this, you might see some very light tiger striping with a heavy pearl or heavy metallic in your first coat if you're not super consistent. And you can see I'm doing a lot of overlap as well. There's a lot of overlap there. I usually shoot for 60 to 70%. And you'll see on my cross coat, I actually increase that, although I back up. I'm spraying it 4 to 5 inches there, 4 to 6 inches there. And then I back off 8 to 10 inches for my cross coat. It's almost like an orientation coat for you automotive guys. And I do a lot of overlap here, probably 80-ish, 70 to 80% overlap. And that's just to get those pearls to lay out nicely. Now before I started the video, I did spray this with a sealer. I used Corlar 921S. That's a gray epoxy sealer. And while that epoxy was flashing, I did do my spray out there to check my color. So it's a bit more of a process than just slapping it in the booth. I did also wash it and tack it. So overall, it was about an hour and a half, 2-hour process on this fender. I think it overlapped with one of my coffee breaks in the afternoon there too. So you get the idea though, it's not just a matter of what you see. It's not a 6-minute process to paint this like you're seeing in the video. It does take a little bit longer. And then there are some flash times as well. So after I finish spraying here, I take a good look at it. And because the lights in this booth aren't the greatest, I did shut the lights off and grab my sun gun to have a good look at everything, make sure my pearls were oriented nicely, make sure I had full coverage, hit all my edges, all that jazz. And as you can see with my sun gun here, it looks great. I'm super happy with this finish. Imron, unlike a lot of automotive paints, it is shiny, it is glossy, which is kind of neat and a little trippy to get used to when you first start spraying it. But it is nice when you're checking for color. It does look exactly like it's going to look with clear coat on top of it. And on to clear coat. So same gun I'm using here, but we're dropping the pressure to 31 to 32 psi. And you'll notice right off the bat, I'm spraying a lot quicker. And that's just because this clear coat's a lot thinner than that base coat. That pearl in that particular color, or this particular color, was quite thick. And it was spraying extremely slow. Now, for bigger parts, I would have heated that up. Axalta does recommend heating your paint to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. For a small part like this, not really necessary. However, if it were like a hood or something like that, or even multiple parts, I definitely would have added a little heat to that paint before I started pulling the trigger. So this is 8831S. It's Imron as well. It's designed to be applied in a coat and a half application also. So starting with my coat in one direction, and sprays, for you automotive guys or anyone who sprayed automotive clear, this is a lot more forgiving in some senses. You can lay it on a little bit thicker because it is thicker than an automotive clear coat. It's not going to run as easily. However, it is a pain to polish when it does run because being polyurethane, it is a very durable clear coat. So you can see I'm already into my cross coat here to finish things off. And it's a really quick system. I do like the Imron system, especially for spraying completes, because you're not waiting. There's no flash times in between your coats of clear, really. You're sort of back to back on your parts, because as you see there, I've already done the back side of this part. I did leave about 20 minutes flash time between my base and my clear on this particular color, just because there's so much pearl in there. I didn't want to risk moving those pearls around as soon as I hit it with my clear coat. However, many colors, especially solids, you can go right back to back, wet on wet with Imron from base to clear, which does make it a very efficient system for spraying. It's really hard on camera to capture the brilliance of this color. However, when I did that initial mix, I saw how much pearl was in it. I figured it'd be worth it to throw my GoPro in the helmet and show you guys this color. Not a cheap color either. It was almost 450 bucks just for the base coat on this one Fender, which is pretty hefty, but when you get the blues in there, the pearls, it all adds up. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope this video was informative and you learned some stuff, and if not, I hope you just like the cool color I sprayed. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.